I don't talk about this a lot on my channel, but I am an absolute fanatic of the Mario Party series. Desert Island Scenario, if I could just bring one video game series and maybe a friend or three to make the most of it, if that's permitted, it's not even a question, it's Mario Party. It's endlessly replayable, it's frantic, and it's complete bullshit, and that's exactly why we love it. There is no other series that I will enthusiastically jump at the chance to play almost every single time someone pitches the idea to me. One day, I'm going to spill every thought I have into a script about why I love the series as a whole, but that'll be on another day. Today, we're here because of a much darker tale. One night, I'm playing a game of Mario Party Jamboree, which, by the way, this game is so good. I love it so much. Not you. You get the fuck out of here. I don't want to see you. I don't want to hear from you. Get out. Okay, so I was playing a game of Mario Party Jamboree with my friends, and the minigame 3-throw comes up. Having played more than my fair share of it in Mario Party 4, where I went through the story mode with all 8 characters on the roster, I groaned. By the way, yes, this is my genuine GameCube memory card I got back in like 2014. I did this for real. That aside, this minigame is nothing special to me. In fact, I think it's pretty bad. I don't know why ND Cube brought it back in Jamboree, and I cringe at the fact that several people agreed it fell under the top 100 Mario Party minigames. Get out of here, you! The thing is, I am the only one reacting this way. The other 2 people I was playing with said something to the effect of, "What do you mean? 3-throw is great." Suffice it to say, we don't talk anymore. Sadly, this was not the last time this subject would serve as a catalyst of, calm, collected discussion among us. I feel like I'm going fucking crazy. What are you talking about? What? Hold on. No. We're not moving on from this. You've not given me a single reason why it is good, other than that you press the A button to time something.
Yeah,
this is not...
and you like time it, and if you press it just a little too late, you miss all the golden hoops.
Wow, that's incredible. Absolutely no favors.
You know what to pick.
Oh,
you know what to
yes!
I hate
it's the best minigame.
No, it's not. Oh my god.
It's so good.
I fucking dare you to play this minigame and tell me that you're having a great time. Oh, let's see who's where. Somewhere down the line, it became the joke that I'm just a grump who hates good minigames, and 3-throw has always been great. After enough time, I jokingly spoke aloud the idea to my friends that I could write an essay about why this minigame is bad. And now the only joke here is me. If you're a diehard 3-throw stan, sound off in the comments. I'm sure at least one person already did in reaction to the fucking title alone. Genuinely though, in my heart of hearts, I think 3-throw is a sham. It's a showcase of an excellent concept whose implementation is completely wasted on the final product. In addition, getting to the heart of what makes this minigame so bad speaks to the wider Mario Party series. Several qualities that lead to 3-throw being executed poorly can be applied to the entries fans despise the most. This conversation is more than just a teardown of a minigame. This could have wide-reaching social consequences, and I need to do the responsible thing with my platform of 2,000 subscribers. I can't let another person go through what I have. I cannot. I will not allow any other friend group to be tainted with this horrific idea, ironic or unironic, that a mediocre at best minigame is good or even okay. I need to watch this thing burn to the fucking ground. Let's start by simply observing how 3-throw functions as a minigame. You and your 3 opponents are lined up along this wall, and there are 3 rows of basketball hoops scrolling by. The middle row is worth 2 points, the others are worth 1. Get the most points to win. Your only inputs are jumping and shooting, with the height of the throw being dependent on when you release the ball in your jump arc. Each time you land a shot, the ball gets stuck and blocks the other players from getting points off of that same hoop. Halfway through the game, the hoops begin scrolling in the opposite direction to balance the amount of time each player can try their hand at getting the golden hoops. Theoretically, a great minigame, right? In concept, I agree, this minigame is genius. It's an intuitive concept, the controls are simple, and the gimmick is simple but effective, like many of Mario Party's best games are. A score attack minigame where you interfere with the other player's ability to score a basket is textbook Mario Party shenanigans. 3-Throw has great ideas that are very poorly handled. It's silly to say this so self-seriously, but from the very outset, this minigame is deceiving you. You go into it believing this is a skill-based minigame, and you would be right in a few select circumstances. When you're first adapting to the timing, if you're playing badly, if you're extremely young and or a casual fan of video games, if everyone is closing their eyes, or if you and your crew are partaking in the giggle juice. A fairly wide number of circumstances apply where I can see this game being fun, but largely because of external factors. When you directly assess 3-Throw's quality in a competitive sense, that's when things get frustrating. Trying to figure out where in your jump arc to throw the ball can take some adjustment, but once you get that down, really, this is as simple as Mario Party minigames can get. The third circumstance is the most understandable way 3-Throw can be considered balanced. I may forget it sometimes, but this is a series meant to satisfy many casual gamers, with it being the closest we have to a popular video game adaptation of a board game with a Mario spin on it. If this is the circumstance in which you defend 3-Throw, I can 100% get behind that. I mean, my own journey with video games was more or less kickstarted by Mario Party 8, and I certainly wasn't great at it going in, I'll tell you that. The problem is that in the situation I'm most concerned with, we're talking about grown adult gamers attempting to argue this is an unironically good minigame for lucid adults too. The fifth situation also makes some amount of sense. Responsibly and safely consuming alcohol, or your substance of choice, and playing Mario Party is a pretty great combination to facilitate hilarity and memorable plays for a series that I find delivers pretty consistently on that end, even completely sober. Nevertheless, I could see myself getting plastered and having fun tossing some basketballs with no rhyme or reason. But assuming you can still see straight and you've beaten a few video games, the veneer of this being a purely skill-based minigame completely falls apart as soon as you play it a second time. Because, dear viewer, in reality, this is the cruelest kind of luck-based exercise you could craft. The kind that tries to obscure its nature to make it seem better than it actually is. The kind that won't even lean into the luck-based element and make something fun out of it. It's a coward's game, that's what it is. I want you to imagine going forward that your party of 4 is composed of lucid, competent gamers. People who have done speedrun tricks, competed in fighting game tournaments, can beat a From Software title. People who don't need to relearn the buttons on their controller. Imagine you're all taking the game seriously enough that most minigames are a legitimate competition with tension and uncertainty. Now, imagine them playing a minigame like 3-Throw. Imagine them playing it optimally and rarely missing a shot. Under these circumstances, this minigame runs into problems most 4-player minigames never do. The victor of 3-Throw is instantly narrowed down to 2 likely candidates from the first second you can even observe the layout. You see, a fun little quirk about this supposedly skill-oriented game is that if you're positioned on the outside, you instantly have the upper hand over the 2 players on the inside. This is because you're able to access an entire row of hoops before the players behind you. The hoops are all laid out in the same pattern for the entire game's duration. There are no surprises or punishments for instantly hopping onto the next open hoop as it spawns in. As long as you have this incredibly basic timing down, you can easily lock out the rest of the players from getting points in a specific row. It's not hard to keep that timing up, because you don't experience much of any lag landing on the ground to open a window for the other players, and the hoops are moving at the same slow speed for the entirety of the minigame. If you're in the middle, there's no opportunity for you to do this same thing, because every hoop has to pass by somebody else before it gets to you. The only exceptions are the first few hoops that scroll by as the game starts, so yay, I suppose this minigame is fine. Now, I'm no mathematician, but I've been informed that 2 is a larger number than 1. I'm not 100% sure though, I may need to consult my lawyer and check. Seeing as this is a point-based minigame, I think the dominant strategy is more like the only viable method of winning. Aim for the second row, hope the other players miss. You can see where I'm going with this, yeah? If you're in position 2 or 3, you've only got 2 courses of action here. Number 1, hope the player in front misses row 2. Your ability to even play the game is at the mercy of somebody else. How fun. So that leaves option 2. The only realistic approach is aiming for row 1 or 3 now. This is also entirely dependent on the competency of the player on the other end of the court. But that's another thing! In the original rendition of this game, how in the hell are you even supposed to get in row 3? I swear it is only the sporadic will of God that you will see anybody land a ball in the bottom row of baskets. You try throwing from the bottom of your jump arc? Nope. It's good for getting the second row though. Okay, well then you'd have to throw from the ground then, right? You literally can't throw any lower than this. Why don't we just Huh? Oh, I'm stupid. Oh no, okay. You have to time it so that you miss row 2 and then it falls down into, no. Okay, this minigame is just ass. Top 100 in Jamboree thankfully fixed that aspect of 3-throw, but no other efforts were made to address the imbalance present here. I fail to understand how a group of designers could look at this minigame not once, but twice after Mario Party 4 and come to the conclusion that nothing else could stand to be adjusted. Moreover, why is the bottom row worth a single point anyway? The hardest row to shoot into is unquestionably the bottom one, because you have to shoot just before your feet hit the ground. The top row is easy, just shoot at the peak of your jump. The middle is a little bit harder, you wait for your character to be a little ways down and then shoot. You at the very least have one more option open if you're mid-jump and realize that you need to resort to a lower basket. The bottom is almost always your last resort because it's the riskiest one to time. The window is open just before you land, making you come close to wasting time in the event that you miss. From a basic risk-reward standpoint, wouldn't it be more interesting if you made the hardest timing reward players the most? In any case, I want to go back to my misunderstanding of the design philosophy behind this minigame. I am not an all-knowing entity by any means. There are at least 50 minigames in every Mario Party. Not all of them are going to be of the same quality. That's understandable. Regardless of your party's collective skill level, the 1 vs 3 category always has misbalanced games, and some 4-player ones are just boring as sin. To a degree, that is expected. At the very least, the intent behind the minigame is typically clear by observing how the game works. Bumper balls and stamp out are built around politicking for anything productive to even happen. Book Squirm and Mr. Blizzard's Brigade are tests of reaction and movement. And 3-throw is a test of timing that simultaneously leaves your fate up to the hands of complete luck. Those two ideas don't click. You can't send 4 professional athletes into a triathlon only to say, yeah, screw you, these two get a 45-minute head start for no reason and grade them on the same scale. That just doesn't make sense. I need to emphasize that they somehow managed to make a 4-player minigame supposedly built on the premise of skillful timing that can end up being as imbalanced as some of the worst 1 vs 3 minigames in this series. You know Piranha's Pursuit? This minigame is dreadfully boring. You wanna know why? The team of 3 gets no say in who wins. Whether or not the single player ends up getting eaten by the piranha plant is not determined by the opposing team. They could be in perfect sync the entire duration of the game and it does not affect the outcome. It's only if the solo player trips over a log or can't tap the B button at a mild frequency that the team can even be considered participants in the game. Somehow, some way, this 4-player minigame manages to face this exact problem, and not once has ND Cube made a meaningful attempt to adapt or fix 3-throw or Piranha's Pursuit accordingly. Why is this such a bad thing in the first place, though? Mario Party has plenty of mediocre or otherwise random minigames, right? What does 3-throw do so wrong that it warrants such a passionate distaste from yours truly? It's true, Mario Party thrives on balancing cruel insanity with strategy. What makes 3-throw especially bad is that it accomplishes neither the goals of a purely luck-based minigame, nor a strategic and skill-based one. It plays to both angles and ends up being bad on both ends. Your interactivity with the game and the other players is so limited that it can't allow that increased scope to materialize anywhere. It's the equivalent of trying to put a chocolate cupcake into a ham sandwich because you have 5 minutes left on your lunch break. You've got to save time somewhere, so maybe just try eating both of them at once. The two items on their own are great, delicious even. Both of them serve clear purposes for various occasions and add different flavors to the dietary experience. Mushed together, they are incompatible in flavor, texture, form factor, just about everything that matters when eating food. Luck-based games, in their purest state, typically involve very limited, simple input from the players. It's not uncommon to play a minigame like Bowser's Big Blast or Merry-Go-Chomp without doing anything. Despite that, this is no less valid a strategy than being deliberate because, at the end of the day, your odds are the exact same. Luck-based games excel when they're able to create tension in their presentation to create investment in the outcome. Even if it's ultimately just an elongated roll of a die, Mario Party doesn't struggle to dress it up in entertaining ways. Getting blown up, getting chewed up and thrown into a cage, popping a massive balloon, getting flung off of a fucking cliff. The set dressing alone is able to generate a compelling atmosphere and put you into the shoes of your character. There are more than enough ways to make even a luck-based game fun. In 3-throw, tension is one of the very last things you experience. Do you get antsy with anticipation when you have 30 seconds to ponder your life choices attempting to do something in a supposedly skill-based game? Don't you get so hype when you get to watch 3 rows of hoops scroll by? Isn't the atmosphere just nail-biting? Even if this was the most exciting minigame ever, this is clearly not the intended experience in a minigame that demands you master a skill like timing. When you're hit by the realization that you can't engage with the minigame in the same way as your competitors because someone starts ahead of you, that doesn't create tension, it creates frustration. If you're in a close round, sure, it could get exciting, but only in brief moments. Tell me honestly, can you manage to pay attention to everybody's score while also scanning for open baskets? I know that I can't. The tension comes in brief waves at the very beginning, middle, and then when time's up. Am I allowed to play the game or am I screwed? Aw man, who's in the lead? I just don't know. Oh, was I first? Was I first? Not exactly a recipe for a hype minigame. I can't envision any world where you and your friends remember that one really exciting game of 3-throw reminiscing on previous rounds of Mario Party. It's worth noting that Mario Party does have a number of skill-oriented minigames with random elements in them. Fish Upon a Star, for example. It's a brawler, be the last person standing, but who knows where the Cheep Cheeps are gonna crash down next. There are elements of both luck and strategy present, but the random elements can be reacted to and played around. Most of the time. This works here because your interactions with the minigame are more complex and can allow for an increased scope like this. You have full range of movement and can punch or jump kick your opponents, and that alone allows you to employ different strategies. You could go full evasion or pacifist if you wanted to, maybe just wait for the Cheep Cheeps to finish the job for you, or you could recklessly charge at every person who comes close. You can easily weave in between the two strategies, so really, it's up to you. 3-throw gives you 2 actions, jump and shoot, and only in that order. What strategy can you employ with such limited interactability? Little to none. Just capitalize on whatever scoring opportunity you can get. So in practice, this makes 3-throw luck-based in the very worst way a minigame can be luck-based. The game made up its damn mind 10 minutes ago. Seriously, look at the score disparity here. This is against master CPUs. I think what's most screwed up about it is that the better your group gets at 3-throw, the worse it is. Ideally, a minigame with strategic elements or a mechanic to master gets better as your group learns the idiosyncrasies. The metagame evolves in a sense, even if it's only on a small scale. 3-throw works in reverse. It starts with the feeling that the best player wins, and then immediately loses its appeal on a revisit. If everybody playing this minigame executes their shots perfectly, it doesn't matter. 2 people are vetoed from winning before you can even control your character, which makes the timer going for 30 seconds a cruel punishment. 30 seconds of watching 2 people get to feast while you flounder trying to eat the table scraps being thrown in your direction. This is not some sort of rare occurrence with practiced players.
Corey, can you pick a fucking lane, man?
No, I keep fucking up.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, okay, yeah, that one, yeah, okay. Yeah, all right, great, awesome, yeah, cool. Yep, okay, sick. Didn't get to throw a single basket in the second round. Didn't get to throw a single fucking basket.
Good job, Corey. Good job, Corey.
Man.
Did something happen on the way there, Ryan, to make you lose your patience?
No, man. He was just being inconsiderate. Let the record show, I had one empty basket in the second half, and I hit it.
Yeah.
Let the record show I had one empty basket.
You voted for this. You voted for this game knowing full well that it is dog shit.
I know, but I thought I would be on the edge.
Worst of all, you have to exert yourself to even get that opportunity. In order to stand a chance, you've got to be on your A game and try your heart out, and likely to no avail. At least in the entirely luck-oriented games, you can kick back and accept that you have little say in how you perform, not to mention the fact that the odds are most often fair between all the players in some sense. But 3-throw? 3-throw is the guy telling you that, well, trickle-down economics always works, and you just need to pull yourself up by your bootstraps and work harder, while the guy next to you is sitting on a throne surrounded by gold. It's not impossible to win if you're on the inside, but again, it is entirely dependent on the competency of the players in front of you. A lot of Mario Party's best minigames make the other players the obstacles. They ask each of you to employ different strategies and counterplay, but there is no counterplay to this. Nothing short of trying to spike the controller out of their hands in real life, and that's only applicable to local play. If a minigame doesn't give you the chance to win unless someone else sucks at it, for that alone, I'm comfortable calling it a bad minigame. I am adamant on the point that you should never be able to lock somebody out of playing a minigame. That takes away the entire point of minigames as a concept. The reason Mario Party works is because you have a more interactive side to the game that tests on-the-fly thinking skills, motor skills, teamwork coordination, etc., in addition to the board game aspect. Having smaller challenges changes the pace and creates a more varied experience, which is really important for a game that can take several hours to go through. The point is that you're able to interact in minigames to express something the board game half of Mario Party doesn't. Sometimes you just can't stop chance time from ruining your life. But hey, at least you can point and laugh as you watch your friends get consumed by an avalanche in a terrible skiing accident. Jesus Christ, Mario Party. When you're able to reach a point that you can keep somebody from even having the chance to try a minigame that is straight up antithetical to their existence, you should never, ever, ever hit that point where you're like, I'm gonna give up on this minigame in a game about playing minigames. Bad minigames are kind of core to the Mario Party experience. Having some garbage mixed in there can be the catalyst for some of the best reactions you'll ever get out of your friends. I mean, I've certainly played into that by getting irate every time my friends defend 3-throw. I am a 3-throw enjoyer on no day, so I have some principles, all right? But
you're a 3-throw enjoyer?
No, I'm on no day am I a 3-throw enjoyer.
Bro, did you guys just hear Troy say I am a 3-throw enjoyer?
No.
Did y'all hear that?
If you did, you have hearing problems because you did not understand the words that I said. You have listening comprehension problems.
I just heard out of Troy's mouth, I am a 3-throw enjoyer.
Bro, you're gonna
That's so cool.
You're gonna actually rage bait me so hard. I'm gonna wake up the people in this fucking house, all right? But again, I need to reiterate that your ability to interact with the other players is so limited that you're essentially only ever engaging with the scoreboard. And it's not like you're messing with your friends to make them angry, you're just doing things the way you're meant to, and the game is screwing your friends over. 3-throw isn't even the fun kind of garbage. It's disappointing garbage. I didn't even know I could be disappointed in trash, but here we are. Mario Party is at its absolute worst when you're robbed of agency, when there's no recourse for what happens to you, no strategy, no fun. Think about it. What's one of the most noted mechanics in the series that will make your friends hate you? Stealing a star, right? It's such an evil mechanic because it is a 100% intentional, conscious choice being made by another player. Someone had to expend a lot of their resources to make life worse for you. It was a strategic, calculated decision. It doesn't feel good to get robbed, but it can completely shake up the standings and is often the biggest play you'll see in your average round of Mario Party. It's such a staple mechanic because it requires a lot of accumulated resources and careful decision making across the entire game thus far to be done effectively. Game changers like that play to the core of why board games are so much fun. Every time someone strolls up to the big man with enough money, you had better believe everyone is arguing for their life to not be the next victim. That or they're probably cursing you out.
Oh, being in first fucking sucks ass, dude.
That's nothing to do with being in first. You stole from me twice when I'm in fourth. Fuck you. Suck every dick on earth and then die.
Oh my god.
When someone is stuck walking around in an infinite loop, or when you're forced into a car for a whole board, or when you're the sucker in an unbalanced 1 versus 3 minigame, it's almost always frustrating, and not in the fun way Mario Party can manage to be, because nothing is happening. There is so little to engage with there, an unsurprisingly poor recipe for a party game series. Again, somehow this 4-player exercise manages to be unbalanced in the same way many 1 versus 3s are. It's almost impressive to a point. Mario Party is so great because there's always a possibility, however small, that anybody playing could be the winner. There's always a chance that something could go sideways and just completely change everything. It's exciting. This is not exciting. If you ask me, and implicitly you are asking me, this is my video, this is everything Mario Party ought to avoid doing at all costs. What is maybe saddest of all about 3-Throw is that it's basically just a worse take on a concept that existed in the first Mario Party, Castaways. Now, hear me out. I'm not trying to say it's perfect. This one's not very accessible at all to newcomers compared to 3-Throw. Timing your cast can be very difficult to feel out on a first play, and I've had to explain to several people how the distance is determined by how far back you tilt the analog stick, not how fast you flick it. It's definitely clunky, the controls take some time to adapt to, and rotating the analog stick to reel in your line is practically begging you to hurt yourself on N64. I wouldn't consider this one of the greats or anything, but it avoids all of the pitfalls that 3-Throw face plants into. Casting your rod is awkward, and it takes so long that you couldn't even take 1/4 of the loot you see floating by on one row. This also isn't even taking into account that each row has randomized sets of loot floating by. You have to react to what's coming next, so you can't just camp out one lane and expect it to be lucrative. No matter where you're positioned, you can always get something good. Better yet, Castaways is a coin minigame. Anything you catch is a small victory for you. It's not all or essentially nothing. Even better yet, each position on the lineup is viable. If you're on the edges, you do get the first chance to snipe a chest once you see it, but you've got to be ready, have a weather eye on the horizon, and know your spot to capitalize on that. If you're on the inside, you do have to play off of the people on the outside, sure, but you also get more time to react to the randomized gaps between coins. Since you need to reel in your line, there's a roughly 5-second period where the person next to you can't compete on your next catch, whether they made a successful cast or not. You always have options available, and once you and your competitors adapt to the quirks a bit more, it can make for a very lucrative minute of gameplay. 3-Throw is out here getting outclassed by minigames in Mario Party 1. I need you to understand what an achievement that is. To make something that is balanced worse than a minigame in Mario Party 1 makes me think that they just had to have done it on purpose. I don't see what the point is of doing that, but evidently there's a lot about this minigame that just confounds me. I'm only so passionately distasteful of 3-Throw because it is so close to being a classic, and I think you could make it infinitely better if you made any single small change to literally any element of the game. If I were grading 3-Throw like a professor, my only comment would be do literally anything but what you turned in. Don't have the lineup continuously flow forward for 15 seconds at a time with every hoop being there. Shake things up. Take a few hoops away or make some of them detract points. Make the people on the outside react to something to offset the advantage of being first in line. Increase the movement speed of the hoops or decrease the player speed. Maybe even make it so players can reposition themselves or shuffle the spots around every few seconds so everybody has a genuine chance of getting to shoot first. The best solution I can think of is actually frighteningly simple. Literally just add 30 seconds and switch positions. That's it. Simply make it so the players who are stuck on the inside first get a chance to have the advantage on the outside. Not even joking, I think this minigame would become an instant classic if this were the case. If you're going to skew the odds in someone's favor, do it for everyone. That balances the scales. That would be perfectly fine. And to anybody suggesting that it would make it last too long, even from the very first Mario Party, these things had timers going to a full minute in length. Again, Castaways does this, and on the surface, it's doing the exact same thing as 3-throw. Especially if we're talking about Jamboree, a minute sounds mercifully short compared to a number of other minigames on the roster and any Jamboree Buddy game. The thing is, I'm not a designer. I have sincere faith that ND Cube has plenty of brainpower in their studio to make improvements to 3-throw, or really any minigame they bring back from the older titles. It disappoints me that they haven't made this into one of my favorite minigames. Like I said at the beginning, it's not lacking in good ideas. I want it to be a banger. I want them to prove me wrong. I like being wrong about things being bad. There's nothing quite like a media redemption arc where you go back to something that you hated one day and upon growth and change, you realize that you love it. That's such an interesting experience to go through and explore, and ND Cube could make it happen. I think any of those changes I threw out there has the potential to make this a great minigame for everyone to play, not just newcomers. It could become replayable and fun like the best Mario Party has on offer, like Book Squirm, Pushy Penguin, Circuit Maximus, The Final Countdown, Grabby Gridiron, and so on. But until someone at ND Cube decides to take some more creative liberties here, 3-throw is not a good minigame. It's not the worst one in the series, only because it's not the kind that encourages you to injure yourself. At the end of the day, though, in any of the Mario parties it's featured in, there are far more fun, balanced, and interactive alternatives that put it to shame. Court adjourned.
Confirm those are the words that were spoken.
Dude,
Exactly.
I want to hear it back.
Say.
I want to hear you
You
guys
get-
play that back.
Because
that recording, that audio doesn't exist. See, you could have easily taken the bit of you could have easily taken that audio out of context when I was like in the clip that I sent you guys. You're like, what do you mean 3-throw is great? Like that's just out there. Now you could send that wherever you want.
3-throw is great. I am a 3-throw enjoyer. We got all of this.
Troy
Golly.
being a 3-throw enjoyer and making a video of why he hates 3-throw?
Yeah.
Dude.
I don't know.
Oh,
Somehow,
I get it.
somehow
My
I feel
God,
like
if you think about it, it's almost April 1st.
it's
Isn't it
not.
like a
Troy's
turtle
been baiting us
does
this
go?
whole time.
I've not been.
Rector?
I'm real as can be
Rector?
about how I don't enjoy this game. I don't think it's good because it
Wait,
isn't.
I got them.
You don't enjoy Mario Kart World?
I do enjoy Mario Kart World. I don't enjoy 3-throw.
You just said you don't enjoy this game, and that's the game that you're playing.
We're and the topic of conversation right now is 3-throw.
I don't know.
Yeah,
That's the game that you're playing right now. Really?
Mario Kart World is a great
Wow.
game. I love this game. This game is awesome.
Are you grifting about 3-throw?
No, I'm not grifting. What is happening right now?
See, but it's funny.
But
Soulful.
see, I don't even know if I agree with that. Like, at least that is a reason, all right? I appreciate that. L doesn't give me a straight answer on fucking anything, so like...
What? I always give straight answers.
You don't. You have never once given me a qualitative reason why this minigame would be enjoyable in any sense, and it's like, it drives me fucking insane, all right?
Listen, Troy, I think if you read their thesis on 3-throw, then you may be singing a different tune.
If they had one... If they had one, I would read it and I would
thesis
absorb
must not be rushed, PC.
Yeah, they exist.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure it does, and if they could easily articulate it to me right now if they wanted to.
Mm-hmm.
I'm here. I'm here. I was just all I'm
I
saying.
have given reasons, but I wish to present the rest of my argument in written form.
Okay. So you don't
As
have
a
one.
professional thesis writer.
Oh, okay. So as a professional bullshitter who doesn't have anything to say in response to what I'm saying, right? You see, and the thing is, Elle, you are very good at rage baiting me, so it just works extra when you're in here. But I think what drives me most insane talking about this fucking game is that all of you, everyone in this group chat right now, has such good opinions and is so good at delivering those opinions in like a concise and like informative way. And like I love watching all your guys' videos. I just love hearing you guys talk about the shit that you're passionate about, right? And so, and like, I trust your judgment. I'm like, I just fucking love talking to you guys, right? So then when you guys talk about this minigame and you have no fucking reasons why it's good or why someone would like it, it drives me fucking insane and like I'm waking up in an alternate reality. That's what it feels like, dude. It feels like I just have no reason to believe
This is
what
like
I'm saying.
the most pressed I've ever heard you.
It actually stresses me out, man. It's like...
Listen, sometimes they say that brevity is the spice of life.
I suppose
Precisely.
so. If your favorite spice of choice is dog shit, yeah, absolutely. Feel free to add as much spice as you want.
There
But I'm
are
gonna
some
judge you
people
for
that are
it.
into that.
I guess so. But that doesn't make it like qualitatively a good thing.